Western Winter event was watched by several thousand spectators. They enjoyed some close racing in the hot and dusty conditions. Top names like Kelvin Tatum, Mark Loram, Trevor Banks and Chris Morton were all riding, attracted to the West Country by the lure of substantial prize money. At one point, it looked as if Morton might be forced to miss several weeks of the speedway season when he fell awkwardly towards the end of one race. He was in hospital overnight, but is now making a good recovery. The popular sidecar event was won by Roger Measer and Vince Jones on their V4 Honda, a well-earned reward for some consistent riding throughout the afternoon. The solo event turned out to be very competitive, and with riders complimentary about the Whimple surface, there was plenty of close racing. Top honours went to Newquay's Willie James, who beat Mark Loram and Peter Lloyd in this dramatic final late in the day.
They're singing about the joys of life in the Berens River Reserve in Manitoba. The language is that of the Ojibwe Indians who live there. The song was sent to them on tape by the head teacher of the Indian school after a visit from a student at St Luke's College in Exeter. It took a little time to pick up the language, but it's the first step towards learning more about the Red Man's way of life. The children here are now working on projects on the history, geography and economics of the region. And they're learning that there's little truth in some of the popular myths about the North American Indian.
We saw a film about the chief and what he says about the country earlier, and all the places in it, and quite a few of the people are white, English, and not many Canadians.
What did you think Red Indians were like before you saw this film?
I thought they lived in teepees.
Traditionally, the Indians have always been the baddies, haven't they?
Yes. Yeah, really, yes.
Do you think they're still baddies?
Not really. They're probably just the same as us, except they're just brown.
The other day, they held a debate between settlers and Indians, and the Indians won hands down.
I said that we would give them telephones and they could contact people from miles away.
And what did they say to that?
They said it would pollute the air and kill all their animals.
And what did they think of the idea of people taking over their land?
They thought they didn't like it because they thought we would kill all the animals and things and put oil rigs under the ground and things like that.
We respect our animals and that we don't kill them for the sake of killing.
And what do you think of the Indian way of life generally?
I think it's quite good.
How about you, Helen?
Yeah,
The children of Whimple have sent photos, letters and even a song of their own across the Atlantic, and they're now waiting for more information about life on Berens River.
Artery St. Mary, where November the 5th is not only recognized by fireworks, but also by flaming tar barrels. This is a traditional contest, hundreds of years old, where empty tar barrels are set alight and then they're carried around the town. The man who can carry one of these lethal weapons furthest, even asbestos gloves aren't precaution enough, is proclaimed the victor. The teams come from, well, where else really? The local pubs.
The unmanned 10,000-ton Demetrius was dashed against rocks at Prawl Point after her tow lines snapped. They'd broken 23 miles offshore, but Force 11 winds made it too dangerous for tugs to go alongside. Their crews were forced to stand by and watch as she was driven towards shore. Once there, the waves made short work of her, ripping her hull in half.
After about 20 minutes, she broke her back, and another half an hour after that, she actually broke into 2 sections, as you can see it behind me.
Diesel from the engine room has polluted the shore, but Coast Guards say it's not serious. High winds drove other vessels into harbour, and both the higher and lower ferries at Dartmouth were cancelled as the normally tranquil estuary was whipped up by the gales. Further inland at Clyst St Mary near Exeter, the Clyst was only just squeezing through the medieval arches of the village's Redstone Bridge. It wasn't the only river threatening to burst its banks. The Dart and Axe were also in danger of wandering. Devon's emergency control room posted a red alert as the waters crept higher. Staff at County Hall are keeping a weather eye on satellite pictures as the winds change direction. Tonight, there's a new threat.
The prospect for tonight are that the rain will clear away from the county and that the sky will clear. That will then lead us to a potential frost problem in the morning with temperatures predicted at around about 0. That could lead to icy patches on roads, particularly on minor roads, which won't, of course, be treated.
The clean-up operation following the 5-day storm 2 weeks ago cost £750,000. Today, 182 men were out, along with 94 lorries. It wasn't all gloom, though. 4 canoeists from Alternative Surf Water Sports in Exeter were making the most of the Ex's muddied writhings, pitting their skills against the torrent of water foaming over Trews Weir.